as much as I enjoy these videos from Nicholas Light, where most of it is just kind of fun drama stuff, I don't think this is kind of going to be a fun drama stuff. This is a serious video, apparently. It says, "I'm not okay." Let's listen.
I am not okay. I'm burnt out. I am seriously burnt out, and I don't want to admit it. I'm a YouTuber. I wake up in the morning. I go to my office, my desk. I watch anime. I play games. I talk to the camera. We watch videos on YouTube. I feel guilty being burnt out. Like,
Yeah, this is why I never say stuff like this too. Because, like, listen, we are so privileged in the way that we make money, right? Like, I've been in those situations, working those shitty jobs where it feels hopeless, and every day you got to get out of bed and go to a fucking job that you don't really want to do, and have to work with the boss or colleagues or other coworkers that you don't care about, and you just kind of do it because you need to survive, right? And to those type of people, when they hear complaints from content creators complaining, they can never relate, they can never empathize, right? That's why I try my best to never voice out my concerns about my mental health or the stuff that I'm going through, because I know that you guys don't really care, right? It's some of you will, right? Some of you will definitely care, but the vast majority do not care. They're simply watching you because this is their sort of like sense of escapism. They have worked their shitty jobs and school or whatever, and they're tired and stressed out, and the last thing they want to hear is people like us complaining, right? Not saying that it's not a valid thing that content creators can or can't do, but I'm just saying, like, strategically, it's just like I think it's good to talk about mental health and stuff like that, but personally for me, I kind of keep it under the wraps because I know you guys are here to be entertained and not hear about complaints from me. And if Nicholas Light is going through this shit and he wants to complain and voice out his concerns, hopefully his community can not really be an asshole and listen to him out.
Like, there's people with real jobs, construction workers, doctors, teachers, physical labor jobs, moving trucks and stuff, truck workers. And here I am saying I'm burnt out when every single one of those people would probably kill to have a job like mine.
Exactly, right? It is definitely a privileged position, and those people could never relate. They would make fun of us and say, listen, I would, if I was in your shoes, I would never be burnt out. I would always be like playing these fucking video games and watching shows and make 10 times more money. Like, of course I'd do it, right? But it's like, no matter what you do, it's all relative. And when you're on that grind every day, it doesn't matter if you're playing your favorite game. It doesn't matter if you, like, here's an example. If you eat your favorite food every day, yeah, it's going to be good for a bit. But shit gets boring. Shit gets tiring, right? No matter what you do, our monkey brains, the more repetition and the more that you just have this routine, the more you want to escape from. There are days where I literally just don't want to go live. I just want to sit in bed, do nothing, and just kind of like run away from just my life, because sometimes that's like the burden and the pressure that I feel. But it's funny because why would a person making money watching anime have anything to complain about? It's just, there's different perspectives, man.
And that guilt eats me alive. It's the general opinion from the world that what I do is easy and everyone can do it and I should not complain. So when I feel sad, mad, upset, angry, I block it off and I say I shouldn't feel this way because I'm super blessed and I should be super grateful to be where I am.
Yeah.
And I am. I am super blessed, super grateful. I love my fucking life. Even outside my job, just my life with my wife, I love. But the guilt eats me alive doing what I do, my profession, my job. And I can't feel that way anymore. I have to realize, like my wife tells me, like a lot of people that, like you guys that love me, that you tell me, your job is just as much as a job as anybody else's. Your feelings, you should be able to feel as much as anybody else feels, regardless of your situation.
This is a very black pill take for me, but those people are the vocal minority, right? Because for every people like that, there's like hundreds of thousands of others that think the exact opposite. People that are preying on, like his downfall, they're just haters and they just want to take any opportunity to just basically take hits on him. Like, it is nice to know that there is a small dedicated people that like does support our mental health and stuff like that, but there is a reason why, like, whenever people start complaining and crying about their lives and saying I'm going on a break, whatnot, like, what I'm trying to say is, don't care about what people say, but look at how people behave, right? Because the vast majority of people just generally don't care and they'll just kind of move on and won't care about you because at the end of the day, this is a transactional relationship, right? I make the content, you enjoy. If I don't make the content, you go watch someone else.
Just because they're going through that doesn't mean you can go through what you're going through. And I have to realize that myself as a content creator. What I do is not easy. It's not. It seems easy. But as an introvert, I am an introvert.
You
I
are?
hope you guys know this. I am an introvert.
All right, go ahead.
I don't see my friends. I see them maybe once a year, and when I do, it's a lot of energy for me to see them. I'm a very quiet person. I'm a chill, cool person, but you would never think that because you see how crazy I am.
Yeah, because I see the persona of Nicholas Light TV. That's the last thing I would have ever imagined.
So imagine an introverted person doing the content that I do, how much energy that brings out of me. It's hard.
Then why don't you just be yourself, right? Like to me, it's easy to do what I do and maybe not feel as burnt out because, and I'm not saying that Nicholas Light is putting on a mask, but it does sound like he's playing up a persona, right? This whole like fake personality stuff, I don't know, but if he has to force himself to play this role, it's gonna be way more stressful. If you could just be yourself, then it'd be less stressful. But yeah, because it makes him stand out, right? Because at the end of the day, maybe if he was more mellow and just kind of chill, people wouldn't watch him because he has created a community of people that wants to watch those cracked, crazy reactions. And if it takes like, you know, that fatigue, the social like battery, and that battery's dying out because he can't keep playing up that face anymore. I don't know. I feel like maybe a rebrand image wouldn't be bad. I feel like because of how big he's gotten, if he were to pivot his style of reactions, maybe he should like kind of just like test out the waters. But it might be just like a good thing to maybe be like, you know what, I've gotten this big and people know who I am for what I've done, but maybe they would prefer a different type of Nicholas Light, and that would be a much more balanced way of where he can do this more sustainably, right? Rather than just getting burnt out.
But it's fun. It's not hard to the point where I don't want to do it. But when I do it too much, it could be exhausting. And that's why I got to take breaks. But then I feel guilty for taking breaks because of the general opinion of what I do is a blessing and I should be grateful and it's easy. It's not easy because if it was easy, everyone can do it.
That's the thing too, right? So many people are like, content creation is not a real job. Y'all just make money making video games, playing video games and watching anime or whatever. You can do it too, right? Anyone can do this shit, but does everyone get that level? And then people will say, nah, you're just lucky. At that point, I know you're a loser. People that attribute other people's success to just blind luck, you have never worked for anything in your life. I respect this guy so much because I know what it takes to fucking get there, bro. People that have actually dedicated their entire life, their souls into one single thing, trying to become like the 1% of the 1%, they know how hard it is to get there. And to think that it's just blind luck, it's so fucking stupid, bro. And you will never like make anything of your life because you have this mindset that people who are successful are simply lucky, and myself, I'm not lucky. And that's just how losers rationalize in their mindset of why they are in the position they are. Not due to their inaction, but due to other circumstances, just loser mindset.
Everyone can do what I do. And this is more of me saying this out loud to take my own advice. That not everybody can do what I do, and what I feel and how I feel is valid just as much as anybody else's feelings.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, my dad used to wake up 3 a.m, go to work all day, come back at like 6, 7 at night. He never complained. And if he did, it was like a rare day. But here I am as a YouTuber complaining. Everybody's different, you know? And I've been super fucking burnt out. I'm not going to lie. Every stream has to be better than the last. I'm trying to do bigger and better things. And I think the constant over demand of stuff really gets to me.
But like, who's setting these demands, right? And it's good to have high expectations and want to be better and better and better. He's at the top of his game right now and he's doing great. I don't think it would kill his channel or his growth if he was simply just kind of take a chill step back, right? I think that he is simply a prisoner of his own mind due to the standards that he places himself. Like, these pressures are placed by himself because he wants to do better. But sometimes these are impossible goals that's hard to meet. And if it's weighing down on his mentality and having to take breaks like that. Maybe in the short term, you know, he would think that this is bad, but this is good that he can like force himself to do this shit. But in the long term, what's to say that it's going to be worse because you have to take so many breaks, right? I think that maybe taking a step back and trying to reflect on his content creation style and maybe trying to tone back more and be more of himself, what he believes in, right? Rather than Nicholas Light TV, the persona that he's created would be healthier balance. I don't think people would stop watching him simply because he changed, you know, his type of reactions. Even if his community was built upon that, at the end of the day, it's still him. It would definitely be some testing phases to, you know, feel it out though.
Or when people tell me I'm not doing enough. For example, on Patreon.
He's just doing too much. On his Patreon, he's reacting to like over 10 plus animes plus movies on a weekly basis, not to mention the gaming content. You know how much animes that I'm reacting to? Listen, I'm not sitting here saying that I have a higher burden than Nicholas Light, but I'm just trying to let you know, 10 is a fucking joke. I upload, on average, 5 videos a day onto my Patreon. I'm covering like 30 separate series at the same time each season, bro. This isn't about the volume of content though. It's more about how much effort and stress placed on him to put out that content because of the persona Nicholas Light that he needs to live up to.
Patreon, I'm doing 6+ hours of anime exclusive content a week, including a movie. And I'm still...
Again, I'm not sitting here acting like I work harder than everyone else, but I stream on average 6 to 8 hours every fucking day, uploading 6 to 8 videos every fucking day. This is daily. And why can I do that? Because I have a system that allows to me just be myself, right? I'm not gonna stand out like Nicholas Light. Definitely it's more of a niche community of people that prefers my chill way of doing commentary and sometimes hype reactions, but I feel like, you know, there's gotta be a better way because I'm trying to highlight that this is his workflow, this is my workflow. I clearly have way more volume, and not saying I'm better because of that, but because of the way that I structure my content, I'm able to kind of maintain my mental health doing that. I'm trying to say like maybe there is a pathway where he can also be more himself and be less stressed out while maybe even doing more content, because I don't think it's the volume of content, it's how he does the content, right?
Told I don't do enough when I'm doing maybe 10 times more than the people in my niche for $3 a month. If I miss a day or two and it comes out at the end of the week, everybody dog piles on me. Like, you're always late. Oh, if you're joining Nicholas Light's Patreon, know what you're getting yourself into. He's always late with stuff. And it eats me alive. And
I just ban them and move on. Straight up, right? I would straight up just ban them and move on. Those are not real fans. They're just fucking haters. Maybe there is some reflections to do because these are paying customers that have subscribed and realized maybe this isn't what I want. But at the end of the day, you would think that there would be more people that would give them more benefit of the doubt.
I had to stop myself from really crashing the fuck out several times and saying, y'all should be fucking grateful.
Yes! That's what I've been saying, bro! That's what I've been saying, bro! I am so fucking sick and tired of this weird fucking power dynamic of like chatters and viewers think like they have power over the content creator. That's why the way that I run my channel, I love it, right? Because like I am not acting as like a servant for you. I'm making content for myself. And you should be fucking grateful that I'm even covering these fucking no-name series that no one else is. Straight up, right? And this is not really an ego thing. This is straight up, no one else is doing the way that I'm doing on these fucking series. And you should be grateful. But to talk like that comes off very arrogant and pompous. And many people don't want to portray themselves like that. Maybe due to the way that they've crafted their image, growing their channel. That's why from the beginning, I have done stuff like this to make sure the channel identity has been there. If there's somebody acting like they're PG-13 and they're like all wholesome and nice and suddenly they start acting like me, their community's gonna fucking eat them up because the mask has fallen off. I don't have a mask. I just go live and just fucking be me. And I truly believe this no fucks given attitude and being yourself is maybe one of the most sustainable ways of doing shit, because so many people, bro, I just feel like get canceled or, you know, they fall off or blah, 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 because they cater towards an audience that think that they will only watch them if they act a certain way, and then the moment that their true personality comes out, it's like, well, hold on a minute, that's not you. That's not what I subscribe for.
That for $3 a month, I'm doing all of this because there's content creators that will charge you $6 a month and give you 3 videos a fucking month. You should be grateful. And I hate
5 videos a fucking day, baby. 5 videos a fucking day, baby. Average of 35 minutes long too. I'm just saying, I think my value proposition on my Patreon sub tiers, they're very worth it.
saying that. I am the opposite of that. You should be grateful. You should be grateful. I don't mean it that way. I hate being told that. I never want to feel that way or make anybody else feel that way. But sometimes I feel that way. Like,
Yes.
bro, what do you mean I'm not doing enough? Like, I'm not over here throwing in your face how much I do.
And at a creator of this size, they're always going to exist, right? Like, I'm too insignificant compared to his size to have those kind of crazy people and those, dissenting views. Mostly because I just kind of banned them immediately. But like, this is going to be a problem that he'll always have due to the size of it. And he just has to ban them and move on. There's really no way around it.
Until you're telling me I'm not doing enough. So the constant you're not doing enough or criticism, and also the over demand of where's this, where's that, where's this reaction, where's the gameplay to this, when are you doing this, when are you doing that? Like,
And that's why I immediately tell my monkeys, right? Shut the fuck up. Never ask for a schedule. I do things on my own term. Don't ask. That's why I have that rule. That's why I have that culture. From the beginning, I always saw other people fall into these kind of traps by like being like basically like trapped by their viewers in this entitlement. And I was like, no. I'm going to remove that from the fucking beginning. Do not ever ask me when shit's going to happen. It happens when it happens. You don't like it, get the fuck out. But the content should compel you to keep subscribing and keep watching. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And the way that I have a structure, at the end of the day, nothing matters other than my mental health and that I'm having fun. If I'm having fun, the content's going to be good. And if the content's good, people are going to show up and they're going to subscribe and I'm going to make more money. It's that simple. That's all you got to focus on.
I can't even stream without 50 questions being thrown at me within the first 50 seconds of when I'm doing something.
Get a rule, bro. I'm telling you, bro. My rule set of having people never allowed to ask for shit, I think is so good. And not only is it a way to kind of filter those comments out, but it's also to ensure this doesn't become a tourist spot. The more that you give people an idea of when things are happening, the more those people will only show up for that specific section. The reason why I have that one, I only have one rule in this stream, right? One fucking rule. And it's that you don't ask for a schedule or when or if we've watched something. And that rule exists because I don't want this shit to happen. And it also promotes a culture of people wanting to stick around and watch the stream and not just tune in for one section, but for the entirety. Now, not everyone's going to do that, and it's perfectly fine. But what I'm trying to do is create a loyal, zealot, cult-like member that are watching me for me rather than a specific show. And the more that I do this and promote that culture, the more my core community grows and grows. I feel like a lot of people don't understand this concept. And their stream, their viewers, their chat, it just are a bunch of fucking tourists, bro, that come and go and has no respect for your stream.
Or if I'm reacting to a video, I get asked like 1,000 times while I'm doing a reaction, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like
Exactly. In the middle of a recording is so fucking annoying, bro. That's why I call people out. If I'm in the middle of a recording and someone comes in and says, have you watched this? I immediately fucking bring them up and say, look at this dumbass. Retard. No respect for the stream. Get the hell out of here.
I feel like a monkey sometimes. Like,
I be too, bro.
do a trick, do this, do that. And
the chat will treat you like an animal in the zoo. Absolutely.
yes, I'm fucking grateful. I'm so fucking grateful that people want me to do stuff. But I guess the burnout, the constant being told that I'm not doing enough.
These are mental pressures, right? And listen, we've already established the fact that complaining as a content creator who makes millions of dollars simply by playing games and watching favorite shows, that is such a privileged position to have. And to compare that job to, let's say, a construction laborer, what do you think is more demanding? Physically, the construction laborer. But there is an argument to be made on the mental side. And this is where Hassan got canceled over a couple of years ago, right? That streaming is harder than a real job, right? What a ridiculous take. But it's more in the context of the social emotional battery. Regular people at their day jobs do not have thousands of people, tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands, millions of inputs every single day of this like criticism, hate, this expectation constantly. It floods you, bro. And I'm not sitting here saying, you know, I would want to work those kind of jobs instead of content creation. No, I've been in both sides. I would always do content creation over anything else. The freedom that it gives me, the privileges that I have, I love it. But you need to understand that like this shit really erodes your mind. It's like a debuff, bro. Every day it's like a corrosive poison damage over time video game reference. And slowly, cut by cut, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts, bro. Maybe not one single comment, maybe not single chat, but over days and days, and the more that you do this shit, you actually start to go fucking insane.
The criticism, and then you add the constant demand, I think it all builds up and just becomes a big ball that just, I feel like I'm gonna explode.
Yep.
And I don't want to explode. I don't want to crash out, man. But this is honestly how I feel.
Sometimes I feel like me crashing out and people saying it's fun content. Listen, I try to make it entertaining, but it's like also a way of me doing stress relief. I am really teetering on the brink of insanity a lot of the times too. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I try my best to hold myself, but sometimes I pop the fuck off on people, random commenters, chatters, and sometimes I feel bad about it because they're not trying to be malicious. But it's like when you are going through the same shit every day and people seem to be breaking rules or just being demanding and shit, and I pop off. I try, at the very least, I try to be entertaining, and it's like a way of doing stress relief. But like, man, it really gets to you. But again, I would much rather have this problem than any other job, because there's also many jobs that's client focusing, you know, customer facing, retail jobs. You have to deal with these fucking shitty ass Karens every day, right? Like if you've ever worked as a barista, I've worked as a barista. You know how demanding these fucking customers are? The difference is though that I would get fired if I popped off and crashed out on those customers. In this content creation career, I make money off of, you know, popping off on them. So absolutely, I would prefer this over the other.
I just did a stream, or I did 2 streams this week where I just end the streams because I get so irritated, so bothered because of the over demand and the stress and the technical issues on stream, and just everything builds up, and I gotta stop pushing away being burnt out. My job is just as much as a job as anybody else's, and that might make some people unsettled, that might make some people mad, but it is at the end of the day. Entertainment
That's the truth.
Is a job, and I have to realize that and put myself first in situations like this.
Yes.
I know I'm giving a lot of content on Patreon. I know I'm going all out with my streams and my videos. I'm not just uploading a bunch of bullshit every day. I am constructively posting things
Focused.
that are
High quality.
something that I'm proud of. YouTube, I'm not uploading anime episodes every day like other anime reaction channels. That works for them. That makes them happy, but that's not me. I don't want to just put just anything on my channel. I want to put a mix of everything, but big things, like big videos, like.
And that honestly is why he stands out, right? Because like the standard anime reaction channel covers every episode. The way that he runs it is a very interesting way of big things, I think, is the focus here, right? Remember, the algorithm, the YouTube audience, the more that like you cover all these random variety stuff, there's different strategies, right? I think Nicholas Light is definitely like not a variety content creator as much as maybe you think he would be. He focuses on big niches and pumps out content at scale in those specific things. A lot of anime opening stuff and a lot of more accessible stuff, right? If you look at his content compared to, let's say, me and maybe your boy Roshi, your boy Rock Lee, even Freshest Anime and other people, where we're trying to do more like seasonal variety content and it's horizontal scaling. There's a lot of different strategies. Stuff works for other people and whatnot, right? It's different goals to be had.
But I got to take it back. I got to chill, because I just keep pushing off this feeling of being burnt out and irritation to the point where I'm not myself anymore.
I would say, like, even if you took a break, it's not going to change anything. Because the root cause, because like taking a break is going to alleviate yourself from these symptoms, but when you come back, nothing is going to change. You will never have these people change right? You cannot beg for the audience to make them stop doing. You need to enforce a rule. You need to have a system that bypasses this, right? So like my advice, and who the fuck cares about my advice? I'd say like there's got to be like if it's the expectations, you need to have like a stream culture that prevents people from begging for content like that, to have moderators to let people know that like, do not do this shit, right? The more people understand that, the less they're gonna fucking ask, right? And then there's also the different topic of how stressful it is for him to put on the, you know, the Nicholas Light TV persona. If that is too stressful, and maybe there is a balanced way of doing it, but just like a reflection of maybe there's like a different way to do it rather than just dialing up your personality to like a 15 out of 10. Maybe just be more yourself and test out the waters. But if people are all here for his hyper reactions, then it's probably in his best interest to just kind of keep doing that, right?
More, especially on camera, on stream. And I don't want that to happen. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not saying I'm taking a break. I can't take a break. It's my job. I'm still uploading daily on Patreon. I'm still uploading daily on YouTube on my second channel. But as far as the streams go, I gotta chill. I gotta figure out what I want to do. I might stream tomorrow. I might not. There's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to achieve. And that is still my goal. But when I'm feeling like this, I gotta take a step back, not let the criticism and over demand get to me, and just reevaluate everything and then turn it off, just unplug, and then just do what I do best, and that's entertaining you guys. I can't let all the criticism get to me. I can't let all the constant demand get to me, or the feelings of guilt get to me. I cannot burn out. Yes, I am burnt out, but I can't go further than this. I can't push it anymore. I can't push it off anymore. These feelings of guilt and burnout, I gotta accept it. I am burnt out. And I hate saying that. I hate saying it out loud, but I am.
It's valid.
Just be patient with me. You know, like, I get it. I know Patreon, for example, people get mad when I say something comes out on a Thursday, and it doesn't come out on Thursday. It comes out on Friday or Saturday. It comes out by the end of the week.
Don't give people a schedule. That's straight up. That's what I do, right? Like, I don't give people a schedule. Stuff happens when it happens, and I think I'm doing pretty decent for myself. And I think Nicholas Light could also have the same stuff. Like, giving a schedule, like, you're gonna, and I'm not saying don't give people a schedule and don't upload content, but it's just like the more expectations you give them, the more concerned they're gonna be when you don't have that shit out by them, which creates more negativity.
But that's a problem. And then I get criticized, and I'm like, bro, I'm doing so fucking much. Like, boo-hoo. You know, you didn't get an episode out of the 6+ hours of anime you got exclusively on Patreon. Your episode didn't come out on the scheduled day, but it's coming out the next day. Like, you had to wait a day. You know what I mean? Like, I get mad. And
it's valid from the customers because they're paying clients who have been told, they're given an expectation, right? And the product was not delivered, right? So that's totally fair. I would be upset too if I paid for shit and it didn't come out on that day, right? For sure. So we need to like figure out a system that prevents that, right? We need to figure out a situation where you don't give it a schedule, but people know that you're going to be uploading it regardless in that week. And the faster that you can like convert people's mindset to that, I think would be a lot more healthier. One of the worst things that I hate is like every day I get up and there are basically, the most important thing to me obviously is, you know, the stream and making content and going to the gym. That's pretty much it. My life is extremely simple. I don't have a sleep schedule. Like right now, I'm literally streaming at 6 a.m. because I woke up at midnight today because the day before I felt tired and stressed out and depressed and I took some extra naps. I should have been live earlier, but I didn't. And I take focus on myself and I just go live when I go live. And I'm live every day. I'm live every day and I still make content. And I think that me not having an expected streaming schedule or content creation schedule gives me more flexibility and freedom. And it's not like a looming demon in the back of my head telling me, you gotta be live right now, bro. You gotta be fucking live right now, bro. What are you doing, bro? You're late, bro. It's not good for you, right? So it's a very liberating feeling when you can just kind of do things at your own pace have a community that understands that you will still deliver even if there's no given schedule. And I'm really glad that I've approached that from the beginning.
I used to push that madness aside and listen to people and let it get to me. But now I'm at the point where shit comes out when it comes out. At the end of the day, I know I'm doing more than most, probably more than everybody that's in my niche.
And I do the most out of everybody, baby. React Messiah. But he's right. Shit comes out when shit comes out. That sounds kind of weird. Sounds like a constipation joke. But no. This I think is the right way to do things. Sustainably, long term.
And maybe people outside my niche. I'm doing a lot. And if shit is late, if I'm late,
then fuck you. Wait for it, bro. Because the content is that good that you will wait for it. The content speaks for itself.
So be it. You know? So fucking be it. That doesn't mean I'm going to become careless and I don't respect you guys. I respect the fuck out of you guys. I love you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys. It's why I do so much. But I can't feel like I don't do enough because I do more than enough. And it's time I start accepting that and not pushing it away. So to prevent myself from crashing out, I wanted to make this video.
Okay.
And hopefully it brings some clarity to my decisions lately of just ending streams, being all over the place, being a bit moody and irritable. Hopefully it all makes sense now. And I think me coming to terms with this and admitting this will lead to great things.
Yeah,
will
agreed.
lead to a better me. Because July, next month, so many things happen.
That's right, baby. Summer 2025 is coming. It might be the biggest season of anime recently.
Going to Anime Expo. I was invited out by Kodansha. I'll be talking about that a bit soon.
Kodansha? The reason I bring that name up is because they are one of the few people that are the most guaranteed to strike your content. Copyright strike, not claim. I'm talking about strikes. You heard of Shangri-La Frontier, right? Kodansha content. Immediately killed. King's Records and Kodansha are the two producers I do not fuck with on YouTube. For them to open up communication channels with Nick, those are positive signs. Even like Neil, when he was reacting to Shangri-La Frontier, remember Kodansha reached out and they were gonna strike, but then he appealed and they made a deal where it's like, all right, the videos can be public and visible, but we're just gonna take your revenue. That is still progress. So like, this is kind of crazy. Like Kodansha actually collaborating?
Soon. So much more anime drops. There's so many horror games I want to play. More FNAF, Outlast, Resident Evil. There's so much I want to do, you know? So much I want to do, and I'm so excited to do it. That's why I just got to take a step back, accept what I'm going through, and then get better and grow from this situation. And yeah, I hate doing shit. I don't hate it, bro. I love being real. The fuck? I'm not going to say I hate doing this shit. I'm not.
I think people appreciate these type of videos too, right? And I think it's like a very good idea to be open about yourself like this. Hiding it stuff up and bottling yourself up is not a good idea. Especially when people are concerned and have complaints and stuff like that. To open up a channel of communication and be real and let people know, I think is a great idea.
I'm not going to lie to you guys.
And not only that for his community, but this also propagates into other people's communities. Not even just in the same niche, but beyond that, right? For other people to understand, like, this is how things are behind the scenes. All you see are videos of us just having fun and laughing. But at the end of the day, like, listen, it's not just sunshine and rainbows. And the faster you can understand that, the faster you can understand why some people need to take breaks.
I love keeping it real with you guys. You know, I want to change things. I really want to change things. I'm not going to be that anime channel that just uploads anime every single day like I used to, like all these anime channels do. And that's nothing on them. That's nothing on them. I want to make that clear.
He's expanding.
I want to do a
niches.
little bit of everything. I want to push the barriers. I want to grow. I want to expand.
This is only possible for creators of this size though, right? Because like, listen, everybody wants to be variety and do other stuff. Don't you think I want to go into video game content, other stuff like that? It's fucking hard, man, as a small creator. But when you have 1 million subs plus, you can pretty much push the limits and penetrate into different niches because you already have a sizable community and reach out to different new communities, right? So him doing new gacha content like that, it's a very smart idea.
I want to fly, bro. And I won't let anybody stop me. And I have to stop letting people get in my head. I just got to do what I do best, like I said earlier, and that's entertain. That's one of the only things I know I'm great at. Yeah. But, and I'm losing my voice more and more every day. I got to control that. So, as y'all can hear, that's why I'm talking extremely low right now. But, yeah, I think that's gonna be it. As far as content goes, I'm still gonna be uploading every day. As far as the streams go, I don't know what's going on. And on Patreon, I'll be uploading daily, of course. Nothing's really gonna change except for the streams. I feel like I'm just gonna chill a bit right now. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I need to take a step back for a second and just accept
Chill
what
out.
I'm going through. And hopefully that's fine with you guys. Just keeping it real,
And if it's not fine with them, fuck them, bro. It comes out when it comes out.
you know. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it. Sayonara.
And that's pretty much it. What's the takeaway?
Being all over the place.
I think that this is so relatable, especially to other people that's created content, and not even just creating content. Anybody that has done something repetitively every day, grinded, and has like expectations to deliver, and people who are going to be upset if you don't deliver, you should be able to relate to this, right? It wears down on your mentality. No matter what you do, again, I know that it's such a privileged position, playing games and watching shows and making more money than regular jobs. What a dream, right? But like, no matter what you do, no matter how much you like something, the more that you do it every day and the constant engagement and feedback from not just thousands but millions of people, like the volume of comments and the stuff that you get, it's very like corrosive. That's why I try to always like have this culture of not giving a fuck and doing things my way, right? And telling people to fuck off if you don't like it. It maintains my mental health, and that's why I'm able to grind out content at scale, right? I understand that a lot of the content I make is a lot of slap reaction content, absolutely. But I'm still pulling up every day, delivering 6 to 8 videos a day, streaming 6 to 8 hours every day. And that's only possible because of this framework, the system that I've created, right? And the most important thing that I think that's really helped me is, again, having a culture and a rule set that prevents people from demanding and asking for stuff. It will happen when it happens, right? And the faster you do that, I think, is the better it is. In terms of him living up his persona as Nicholas Light TV, maybe there's no way around it, right? Because him doing the hyper reactions, even though that's not really himself, it's so stressful. I can't imagine doing that, right? Because it's easy for me to pull up every day and just do this shit because I just go live and I just talk the way that I normally do. Of course, when I'm reacting to anime and I'm popping off, would I do that if I wasn't reacting? When I'm watching stuff on myself, probably not. So there is definitely an aspect of me playing that for the camera, but due to the way that I'm just trying to be myself always, it's easy for me to do that, right? But I don't think it's feasible at this point for Nicholas Light that's created millions of followers in this specific type of content. So that's the reality that he has to live in. So if he can't change that, at the very least, he could change the way that he views content in his streams and his chat and moderate them in a way that prevents crash outs from happening and just better overall, man. That's it. I know a lot of people are probably going to, complain and cry and, and hate on this guy for reaching out like this, but I think it takes bravery and courage to actually speak out, especially when you are aware that, that content creation stuff like this, people say it's not a real job, right? And hey, I might agree with you, but at the end of the day, still a human being, man. And I think a lot of people don't understand that people who make content, bro, we are human beings. We're the same as you, bro. All these different mental health issues and stuff, we got to go through that shit too. And I know that most people will never be able to empathize because they can't see a situation where someone doing better than them will ever be justified to complain. It's just like, oh, you're rich, therefore you don't get to complain. I understand the mindset. That's why I don't fuck around with that shit. But just try to see yourself in other people's shoes, man. Here's a link to the video. Go check out Nicholas Light. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.